With Street Fighter 6 already old news and Mortal Kombat 1 still months away, what's a fight fan supposed to do? If there's any justice in this world, they'll check out Sclash from Bevel Bakery, a brand new samurai game where a single slash your sword can, and often will, end a fight abruptly. There are no fireballs or finishing moves here, because this stylish one-on-one fighter is more about simple, accessible combat than complicated combos and super moves. Does that make it one of the year's best fighting games? Or should it fall on its own sword? That's what we're about to find out when I review Sclash. Sclash is what you get when you combine the samurai action of Bushido Blade with the overly simplistic gameplay of Divekick. It's a 2D fighting game with only a few buttons and one special move, a charge attack that'll break through your opponent's defenses. But don't let the bare-bones gameplay fool you, because this easy-to-learn fighting game is all about strategy, timing, and one-hit kills. Now, there is a story here, though it'll only take you an hour to complete. It tells the tale of Jinmu, a young samurai who finds himself stuck in the middle of two warring clans with equally stubborn leaders. Jinmu goes on an extremely brief journey to gain power and knowledge, forcing him to come face to face with the lies he's been told and, if all goes well, to put an end to the generational fighting between the clans. While admittedly on the short side, the story mode does a great job of teaching you the basics of combat and then easing you into the harder battles. It's also an opportunity for the game to tie in a bunch of cool backgrounds and locations, many of which come with dramatic weather effects and a day-night cycle. Best of all, there's a nice mix of epic one-on-one fights and the faster-paced brawler sections, where you'll have samurais coming at you from both sides. The important thing that the story mode does is that it makes you care about each of the 5 playable characters. That's crucial in a game like this, where the different fighters may look different, but they all have the same moves. Everybody can slash, kick, and parry, as well as charge up an attack to extend the distance and power of the slash. Aside from the different masks and swords that you can equip, a lot of the character's personality actually comes from the story mode, which includes full English voice acting, though frustratingly, no option for Japanese. Using only a few buttons, Sclash is an intense back and forth battle where you're constantly looking for an opening. Both characters will come with an energy gauge that'll deplete every time you attack, kick, or dash away, and then fill back up during the lulls of the fight. The trick is to parry and dodge, forcing your opponent to use up all their energy, leaving them in a vulnerable position. Of course, you can win a fight just by slashing at the right time, so you'll constantly be on the lookout for weakness and an opening. This is not one of those games where you can just rush into every battle and be the most aggressive, because patience and strategy is the key to winning most of the fights. Now, while the story is certainly nice, the real fun of the game is going up against other real people. It takes a few games to get into the rhythm, but the action really ramps up when both sides are trying to anticipate what the other player is going to do. There's real tension in knowing that one wrong move can result in certain death, yet sometimes you need to take those chances in order to win. I found that my friends were a lot more unpredictable than the computer opponents, which made the battles a lot harder and more rewarding. I'm excited to see that the game will be getting an online multiplayer mode in a future update, because Sclash is definitely at its best when you're going up against other real players. One thing that I love about this game is how it handles the backgrounds. There's a nice assortment of locations to fight in, all taken from the important moments found in the story mode. What's cool is that each of these stages can be played during the day or at night, which can really shake up the ambience of the fight. What's more, you can mark your favorite stages and then play them at random, something that I kinda wish was standard in all fighting games. Of course, we can't talk about those stages without mentioning how gorgeous this game is. Every single background looks like it was hand-painted, almost as if it could have come out of a picture book. I also love the look of the characters, where every frame of the animation looks like it was penciled in. These designs are rough, almost as if they were drawn by some teenager who was bored during math class. You can see the rough edges and pencil lines, and yet it's stylish and immediately recognizable. Look, I could see some people being put off by the way this game looks, but personally, I love the art style. As a fighting game, Sclash is a lot more casual than Street Fighter 6 or even Mortal Kombat 1. That's good if you're looking to play with a bunch of friends who don't necessarily want to learn complicated moves and combos, but it's bad if you're hoping for a level of depth that'll keep you playing for months. Look, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that you're never going to see Sclash at a fighting game tournament, but rather that it wasn't designed with that in mind. The combat, while certainly tense, is shallow when compared to the heavy hitters at EVO. But even when playing with friends, I found that it didn't take all that long for me to get my fill of Sclash. I'm not sure I would want to come back and play it every day, but I could certainly see myself coming back to it regularly with friends, if only for a few hours of tension-filled fun. That said, I do wish that the story mode was longer. It's in such a big hurry to get from one plot point to the next, but there were a lot of times where I just wanted to fight wave after wave of mindless bad guys. Those stages where I'm going up against countless enemies are just as much fun as the one-on-one battles, yet they keep getting short shrift in this game. That's a shame. Still, I have to applaud the game for staking out a unique niche and then delivering on its promise. What's even more impressive is that Sclash is Bevel Bakery's debut release. Between the stylish presentation and the combat system that's actually well thought out, I felt like we were in good hands all the way through. If this is just the introduction to Bevel Bakery, then I can't wait to see what they do next. A fast-paced and incredibly violent cross between Bushido Blade and Divekick, Sclash is this year's most unique one-on-one fighting game. This is a stylish samurai game where a single slash can be all it takes to win a fight, fueling a fun and tension-filled battle that is all about anticipating the opponent's next move. While the story mode is over a little too quickly and the shallow gameplay can become repetitive after a while, there's no denying the fun and excitement that comes with a round of Sclash. Throw it on with some friends and you're guaranteed to have a great time. Hey, thanks for watching my review. If you liked what you saw here, then you should know that we post new reviews and features almost every day. Now, here's the question I have for you. What's your favorite samurai game? This is not as easy of a question as I thought it was gonna be. I initially wanted to say Samurai Showdown 2, but then my mind just bounced all around all the different games that had samurais in them over the years. They wind up in some weird spots. For that reason, I can't wait to see your picks in the comments below. In other news, we'll be back tomorrow with a new episode of the Nintendo Switch Online Review Crew. If that sounds good to you, then I strongly recommend you click that subscribe button and support what we're doing here. Until then.